Positive childhood experiences can be divided into two categories: in the home with the nuclear family, and then in the community with friends, extended family, other groups that they're a part of. One of the first positive childhood experiences that we're going to talk about is feeling heard in the home. That means that children feel that when they express their emotions, they feel heard and supported and cared about. That doesn't mean that we're saying that whatever happened is accurate or anything like that, but we're just supporting them in a way that makes them feel like they can share their emotions in their household. One of the ways that we love to teach of how to do this is acknowledge, affirm, and comfort. That means that when a child brings a big emotion to you, you acknowledge that they shared it with you and that you're glad that they did. Thank you for telling me. I'm glad that you feel like you can talk to me about these things. I'm glad that you know that I'm somebody who you can share this with. Acknowledge. Affirm is not affirming the thing that happened. It's not affirming their actions. It's not affirming anything except that emotion is something that they're feeling and that it's valid and makes sense. There are no boundaries on the emotions that we feel. There's boundaries on behaviors that we express when we feel those emotions, but whatever emotion they're feeling makes sense. We don't stop feeling an emotion because someone says that doesn't make sense for the situation. The emotion is still there. So, what we want to do is say, it makes sense that would have made you feel upset. If that happened to me, I might have been angry also. It makes sense that would have been really sad. Whatever the emotion is, we want to affirm that it makes sense in that situation. And then we want to provide comfort. That could look like, hey, do you want to come sit with me for a little bit? Or do you need a hug? Or can I get you a glass of water? Or just saying comforting words. Acknowledge, affirm, and comfort. We want to do those three things before we come back around and address behavior that wasn't okay when they felt that emotion, or when we ask more questions about what happened and why, and when before we just kind of continue the conversation beyond that. The reason why is that often it feels to not just children, but us adults as well, like if we start with the questioning, if we start with the behavior, if we start with the discipline, all of those things, like we have to justify or explain in such a way that the parent is going to care about the emotion. We want to communicate that we care about the emotion. We want them to feel seen and heard and cared for before we circle back around and talk about, okay, but that was not an okay way of expressing that. How could we do that differently next time? Or can you tell me more about what happened? Or would you like to know the whole story or things like that? So, for that first positive childhood experience of feeling heard in the home, we want to acknowledge, affirm, and comfort.